One thing that has plagued me in my first years of making games is keeping the tempo. Over the past 8 months I've done nothing much to improve my game making skills, or making games. There was always something blocking me from doing it, whether it be school, college coming up in a couple months, stress from life, or my mood disorder. Looking back on the past 8 months, I regret not keeping the tempo. In the past 2 weeks I've learned and done so much more than I've done in the past 8 months. I imagine what I could have learned if I spent those 8 months the same way, and regret the time that I've lost from not. If only I had kept the tempo, maybe I'd be making my dream game now, making money off my games, or my games being noticed by a large audience. That all may be unrealistic, but still, imagine.
Left of the road.
What destroys keeping the tempo? For me, school, stress, and my mood disorder have been major ones, but there are also things like burnout. After things like that, I've taken breaks from making games because I've been so tired of life that I can't do what I love. But those breaks go on indefinitely, and accrue so much time without me noticing. That actually happened recently, and that lasted for 8 months. Many things can destroy your tempo, and you must be aware of them, and make sure they don't get out of control.
This is massacre.
But what can you do to keep the tempo? Well, just do one thing. One thing a day, no matter if it only takes 1 minute to do, or an hour. Just make sure you do it. Always make sure that you're doing something every day. The difference between doing nothing and something, no matter how small, is huge when it comes to building tempo. I've spent days where I've only done a few minutes of coding, design, art, or music, and they really helped me in building tempo. The likelihood of me doing something the next day after a day like that was way higher than if I just did nothing. Also, know what you can manage. I've spent times where I've kept a really high tempo that I couldn't keep up, but try to anyway, and it led me to destroying my tempo. Manage your tempo and adjust it as needed. Recently, I spent a week going at a really high tempo making a game I really liked, but I spent too much time at that tempo and now I'm struggling to keep a tempo going at all. So to maintain some sort of tempo, I've been running at a really low tempo. This is something I'm still figuring out, but I think I finally get it, and that's why I'm making this video. I think what works for me is keeping a slow tempo and ramping up when I need, or when I get the motivation to. So find out what works for you and keep doing it. Build that tempo and make those games. If any beginner game designers or developers are watching this, I ask that you don't make the same mistakes as me, and to learn from me. Keep that tempo going and alive. Don't let the flame die out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Get mates.